Today we're going to practice the partial product strategy, but with bigger numbers. So let's try to solve 5 times 22. So just like we practiced yesterday, we're going to split up that bigger number into 2 smaller numbers. So our 5 doesn't need to be split up. It can go right here. But 22 is too big of a number to multiply by. So instead, we're going to split it up into 20 and 2. So our first problem is 5 times 20. We can actually do that one if we count by 20s. We can go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. But another thing that we can do is we can instead think of an easier problem, 5 times 2. We know that 5 times 2 is 10. But we weren't really doing 5 times 2. We were really doing 5 times 20. So we need to add this extra 0 to the end. So 5 times 2 is 10, but 5 times 20 is 100. Then we can do this box. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we always have to put our products back together, which would equal 110. Let's do another one. This time, let's do 6 times 24. Okay. So 6 doesn't need to be split up, but 24 can be split into 20 and 4. 6 times 20 is a hard problem. So instead, thinking of this whole 20, I can think of it as 2. I know that 6 times 2 is 12, but that wasn't my original problem. My original problem was 6 times 20, which has an extra 0, so I need to add the 0 in at the end. So 6 times 20 is 120. Then I can do this box. 6 times 4 is 24. And then I add my products back together. 120 plus 24 is 144. Let's do a couple practice ones together to make sure that you really understand how to add that 0 back in. So let's say that I want to do 3 times 60. Take a second to think about what the answer would be. Okay, so 60 is really just 6 tens. So we can think of it as 3 times 6 tens. 3 times 6 would be 18, but it's not times 6, it's times 6 tens. So we want to make the answer 18 tens. So we just have to add that 0 back in. 180. Did you get that? Let's do another one. 50 times 4. I'll give you a minute to think of what that would be. Okay, so we would really think of 50 as 5 tens. So we can think of 5 times 4 is 20. But since 50 was 5 tens, we need to have 20 tens and add that 0 back in. So the answer is 200. Last one. Let's do 7 times 20. Okay, so we're going to think of 7 times 2 tens, or 7 times 2, which would give us 14. But it's really 14 tens, so we need to add this 0 back in. 140 is your answer.